Hi guys, Colin James Poulter here, and welcome once again to my YouTube channel. Hi guys, right, the first thing to say is thank you so much for all of you that have bought my album. It's doing quite well. Yeah, brilliant, thank you, fantastic. I haven't composed anything since I've done Slipstream. I'm kind of taking a bit of a break by doing some repairs and stuff, but I quite like the album. It took me 8 months to do. I was hoping to get it finished early last year, but I ended up finishing it off just after the pandemic. Well, during the back end of what is known as the pandemic. And yeah, brilliant. Thank you. I hope you enjoy it. Great. Right, on to what I have here today, which is the Roland Juno-G. What a fantastic synth. Really impressed with this. It's got thousands of sounds on it, and you obviously can create your own sounds because it's a synthesizer. It's got unique features like the ADSR down there. You've got a 4-track sequencer. The alpha dial's handy. It's got a large LCD screen, which we'll get back to in a minute. It's fully programmable. You can edit every function you can imagine, and one of the unique things with it is it's got this D-beam gadget here, and I don't know if you remember Jean-Michel Jarre played an instrument called the theremin on one of his albums. It was Oxygen Part 4 and a couple of others. The theremin was invented in it was 1928, and basically what it is, it's an instrument that you play without contact with it, and you just adjust the height of your hand, like this. You just raise and lower your hand. If you want to put vibrato on, you wave your hand, if you get what I mean. You can change certain parameters so that the closer your hand is to the capsule there, it has a different effect on the sound. Vibrato, oscillator, maybe the cutoff frequency or the resonance, whatever you want. So back to the problem with this keyboard, and I've noticed by doing a little bit of research, a lot of people on the net that have got Juno-Gs and the screen's gone. So basically you're getting an orange screen like this, and you get those two squares which seem quite common, and just no information. The Juno doesn't display anything, and as far as I know, on this synthesizer they don't make the screens anymore. There's only a few screens left, which people have got from breaking the actual keyboard and keeping some spare parts to sell, and they're quite expensive. There is a version 2 of this screen. Now I'm not sure whether they're remaking them or what, but I do know that it's a common problem, unfortunately. But I think I might be able to fix this one without actually having to buy a new screen. I've seen this before on a lot of electronic equipment, and it's normally down to what they call a dry joint. It's where a connector has been in a bit of equipment for a while, and it's built up a bit of isolation between it and its connecting body, known as a dry joint. And just by simply disconnecting it, maybe using a bit of switch cleaner, plugging it back in, you get a perfect connection again, and away things go. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to set up 2 cameras, and I'm going to show you how to take the Juno apart, disconnect the cabling inside, giving it a bit of treatment with some switch cleaner product, put it all back together, and then see if we've cured the screen problem without actually having to buy a new screen. So yeah, let's get into it. Here we go. Right, so there are some screws. They're big ones actually. Let me show you on the other camera, which is always a good idea. First thing you do is to remove all the screws that you can see around the edge of the synth and down in there, and there's a couple down in there. So grab your screwdriver, even these small ones, and undo everything you can see. And once I've done that, I'll be back with you. There's some screws that I didn't need to undo, so don't undo these, okay guys? All it is a metal angled strip underneath the plastic housing here, just to give it a bit of strength. So there's one screw there, one there, one there. It's all the ones on the front edge. Okay, I've removed all the screws. Now just remember where they came from. I've left the main ones in these little wells here. Okay, but if you look carefully, I'll just show you this. Some of the screws, you can see that, have got an M3 thread on them. That might be M3 or it might be 2.5. It's probably M2.5 actually, maybe. And some are self-tappers. Okay, now just be mindful where the 2.5 threads go and the self-tappers go, and you'll be okay. So looks like this top's loose, which is good, so I'm going to go ahead and take it off. And there we have the inside of the synthesizer, and down there is where the display is. It's pretty well buried under a load of boards, but you won't have to take these boards out to do this, what I'm going to do today. It's going to be nice and easy, guys. There's the memory expansion slot. There's the card slot. If you want to load some more sounds and things. Not too sure what this one is. But anyway, all you've got to do now is very carefully, right, I mean carefully, is go around and disconnect these ribbon cables that you can see, like this one here for example. And to do that, you just very gently just pull up and wiggle, and it just comes disconnected like that. Now it's a very similar connector to the IDE connectors inside a computer, so that's easy to do. And of course they're footprinted. There's a little footprint there which will only allow it to go in one direction, so you don't have to worry about which way round it goes. So if you follow those through, just go around, disconnect what you can. I'm going to have to cut this cable tie maybe here and then put it back in afterwards, because I can't quite, oh it is, I think it's allowing me to pull that up. Not quite, I'm going to have to just cut that one to get that connector out. This one will come out fairly easy, like so. And on these ones, again, very carefully, just pull them up like that. Now when you put it back in, it's got a stiff piece of plastic there. Let me see that at all. Okay, on that connector, it's very stiff, so when you push it in, make sure you push it in using the top of that, and it won't bend about and not allow you to get a good fix in. Okay, so I'm going to go around and finish disconnecting all the rest of them and be right back with you. Right, I've been around and pulled every connection I can get at. I have noticed that there's quite a bit of dust and dirt underneath the key bed here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo these two screws. There's one there and there's one down the other end, I believe. I'll just see if there's any in the middle. Now I need to disconnect this bit of cable here. That's to the connection for the key bed, and it's already a little bit loose, but I just need to undo these two screws. We'll take the key bed out and see how much dust we've got. We'll be right back. The key bed's out, and there's quite a bit of dust. There's some dust and dirt here where the back of the keyboard sits. And looking at the keyboard itself, there's quite a bit of dirt here again, and if I just push a couple of these notes down, sorry, right over here, somewhere along it, yeah, there's dirt down inside between the keys. So I'm going to get the old vacuum cleaner on that, and what I'm going to do is get some switch cleaner into these connections and let that do its wonderful magic before I connect it back up. So the stuff I use is the Servicol Super 10, which is great for cleaning switches and sliders and all sorts of contacts. So basically all you do is you just get a bit of switch cleaner into here. That's all it takes, and then I can't do it with one hand, but I'm going to squirt the underside of the connector so they've both got switch cleaner in, and I'm going to go around and do that with all the connections that I've disconnected, and I'll be right back with you. Well, here's the cat come to help out. Okay, so I've completely cleaned the key bed, and I've had all the connections off of these PCBs and treated them with switch cleaner and allowed them to allow the switch cleaner to do its work. So now what I'm going to do is put everything back together. So reverse order, key bed in first, and then the rest of it. The cat's going to grab a screwdriver and help out. Righty puss, there's the screwdriver. Right, you know what to do, and when the cat's put everything back together, I'll be back. Hey guys, I thought I'd pop back and just tell you about this power supply. This is an aftermarket power supply. You can get it off of eBay for the Roland Juno-G. I'll put a link in the description, because obviously Roland don't make the power supply anymore, and when I got the Juno-G to repair, he did say that it might need a power supply. And here is the cat back to help. Right, so okay, I had to take the keyboard apart once again, mainly because I had one screw left over. You know what it used to be like in the old days when you used to do something in a car, you had a jar of screws left over, but it still kept running. Well, I don't think it would have done in this case. So I've taken it apart, replaced the screw that I don't know how I missed off, but I did. And so I thought, well, we might as well just fire it up and see what happens. Either it's going to work or not. If it works, brilliant. It will save you a few $100, guys. I don't know how much they are exactly, on a new screen. Maybe this will work for you, maybe not, but hey, let's give it a go. Right, so let's plug it in. Like so. And then wherever the hole is, trying to do that and film at the same time. Right, here we go then, guys. Make or break. Let's see if this has worked or failed. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh! Well, that looks brilliant so far. Just waiting for it to load up. Wow, look at that. Brilliant. Well, there you go. Sorry, get my words out. There you go, guys. It could have been just all down to a dry joint. So what I'll do, I'll set it up on my keyboard bench over here. I'll sit it down there in place of the X5D, and you know, let's see what happens. Here we go. Well, there you go, guys. I'm not going to carry on. You can see it's working perfectly fine. So yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. Well, it's worked for this keyboard, so it might work for yours. It might not work, but give it a go. It will save you a few pounds or a few dollars or whatever. And all I can say is thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Cheers then. Catch you later. Bye.